Hey, how's it going, my friends? Welcome back to Southwest Hardy Palms. Finally got all the gravel in all the gardens. I got it done a few weeks ago, but I've just been so busy with school and work, I haven't had the opportunity to make a video yet. So I thought I would just do a full walkthrough of everything. I realized I haven't even done that this summer yet. It's been a very, very busy summer. But let's start over here with this more, I guess, less mature garden. So we got two Hesperallos here, two Hesperallo parvifloras. We got the red and yellow varieties. Beautiful as always, extremely common here in Utah, as they should be. Very, very heat and drought tolerant, and they bloom all summer long. And then right over here, we'll show you kind of a more close-up of this yellow variety. Very similar. You can see right off the bat though, the flower stalks do get a lot larger on the red variety. They tend to open up about 50% more flowers than the yellow variety. A lot of these just kind of don't open up and just dry up and fall off, so the hummingbirds can't feed on them, which kind of sucks. But one thing I do like about the yellow variety is that in the winter time, these leaves stay completely this blue-green color, and then this red variety will turn to this kind of purple reddish hue over the winter time. You can kind of see down at the bottom, that is the color that the whole entire plant turns once temperatures consistently get below 50 degrees every day. But then let's move right back here to my my toyon tree, my Heteromeles arbustifolia. This is a West Coast native, grows in the chaparral. It is native to all of California and a little bit of Oregon as well, around the Brookings area. This guy took down to around 7 degrees Fahrenheit last winter with no damage whatsoever. We had the coldest winter that we've had in many years, and we had the most water that's ever been recorded in the state of Utah. So we had the most amount of snow ever, and this guy did perfectly fine. So it's totally hardy here in Utah. I cannot wait to see this thing grow out. And then we'll just go over here. We got my Euphorbia caraceus wolfenii, or Mediterranean spurge. I planted this guy a few months back. It's just doing fantastic. Only watered it probably 5 or 6 times this whole entire summer, and just look how healthy it looks. And then right under here, we have a Helianthemum nummularia. Henfield's brilliant. This is a evergreen rock rose in the cistus family. Really beautiful. It's kind of like a ground cover and has really gorgeous flowers. And then right over here, we have two different kinds of lavender. This is Lavandula dentata, also known as French lavender. You can see those gorgeous inlays on the leaves. It's probably my favorite lavender I have in the garden right now. This is Goodwin Creek. I don't know if I mentioned that. Sorry, it's very hot right now, guys. My brain is a little bit frazzled already. And then right behind this guy, we have, this is Hydecoat lavender. It's a type of English lavender. So Lavandula angustifolia. So just blooming away, doing pretty good. And right over here, we have my beautiful Yucca rigida, which is a very large growing, trunk forming yucca, very closely related to Yucca rostrata and like Yucca thomsoniana. It has a lot stiffer leaves, a lot larger leaves, but it has the same kind of look as it matures. Very, very excited to see this guy grow up. And it has put out probably 15 or 20 leaves this summer, so it's growing pretty well. And we will just move right over here. We got 2 agave pearii huachucensis from the Huachuca Mountains in southeastern Arizona, around the Tucson area. Just doing fantastic. I planted those guys a couple months ago. Doing so good. And we'll move back here. Got my African rock daisies. Those are gazania. And we got my Ceanothus victoria, which Ceanothus is a really, really cool genus of plants that's native to the, western and southwestern part of North America. There's about 7 species native here in Utah. They're all evergreen. They have gorgeous flowers. This one has blue flowers, which is very rare in nature. And it's just doing fantastic. It's looking a little bit wilted in this 105-degree plus weather, but not doing too bad. And then I'll show you some of these potted plants up here. So we have my Oreoserius celsianus, or Old Man of the Andes cactus, that I transplanted from that side garden I'll show you here in a little bit, and I replaced with that Trichoserius terschekii. So I just repotted these guys and put them here on the porch, and they're doing great. And then right behind those, I got my pineapple guava. This is a Fehoa selawiana. Really, really beautiful, and I eventually plan on putting this guy in the ground. I know of a few people growing this in Salt Lake City with pretty good success. And right over here, we have a pretty gorgeous little succulent box that I created with Cotyledon orbiculatus, Bocarnia right there in the middle, that ponytail palm, Dudleas, Portulacaria, and all kinds of other stuff. I think it looks really beautiful, and it's just a great choice of planter box here in the Southwest. It just does great with... Sorry about that, guys. My phone overheated. I have a feeling it's going to be a constant battle against my phone overheating in this video. It is very hot, and there's a sweat dripping down my eyes, but let's keep going. So we'll move over here. We got that other agave pearii huachucensis, doing fantastic. Along with another Ceanothus victoria. I am going to be taking out these privet hedges as soon as these Ceanothus get some size, so don't worry about that. It's not going to be a big jumble of bushes here. And then right over here we have a new one to the garden. This is a different type of euphorbia. This is Euphorbia rigida. So it is different from that Euphorbia caraceus. You can see it's a lot more spiky and stiff. And this guy is a little bit less cold hardy than Euphorbia caraceus, but I think it's just as beautiful, if not even more. These guys are extremely common all over southern Utah. That's actually where I got this guy. So I thought I would try one out here. I've seen a few of them up north as well here. They seem to do pretty well. This guy has like the typical Euphorbia yellow flowers, but what's different is that these flowers kind of mature to like this like crazy burgundy maroon, like neon red color. I don't know how to explain it. It's like so tropical looking. So I'm super stoked about that. It's very unique in the Euphorbia world. And right next to that, we have a nice little Madeline Hills rosemary. This is a pretty cold hardy cultivar of Rosmarinus officinalis. I will be showing you a lot bigger mature specimen here in a second of a different variety, but this one's doing pretty well. I really like the fragrance of this one as well. We have a little Angelita daisy right behind that. That's not in bloom yet. I just planted it about a week ago. And it should be forming some flowers in the next couple of weeks. I'll show you some Angelitas here in a little bit that are in full bloom. So beautiful, native to Utah, broadleaf evergreen. Right in front of that, we have a Santolina Cameocyparis, which is so beautiful. Look at the patterns on those leaves. Very satisfying to touch, and it smells like spearmint. Really beautiful. And right next to that, we have my Trichoserius or Echinopsis, whatever you want to call it, grandiflorus. This is a hybrid. I'm not sure exactly what hybrid it is. We'll have to wait until it blooms and try to figure it out. You can see it actually already bloomed before I bought it. There's like 5 flowers on there. And you can see all that like tender new growth on top is all new growth. It's in the past month and a half since I planted it here. It's just loving this spot so much. And right behind that, we have my old Choicea ternata Sundance. That's been here for about 5 years. Doing fantastic. Never protected it. And always done really well here in Zone 7B, Utah. It looks even this healthy in the dead of winter. It looks fantastic. This has been one of the most reliable and drought-tolerant plants in my whole entire garden. And I've just been really pleased with it. It's one of the best plants you could plant in Utah, in my opinion. And right over here, we have a silver Anouk lavender. This is a form of Spanish lavender, which is a little bit different from like that English lavender I was showing you before, and I think it's a lot more attractive. They are quite a bit less cold hardy as well, but very common here in Utah. You'll see Spanish lavender pretty commonly. This guy is just blooming away, doing fantastic. The hummingbirds are pollinating the penstemons and other things. Alright, and then right next to that, we have an agave perii Kowesii, which is quite a bit more toothed than your average Kowesii. It is a little bit drought stressed right now, that's why it's kind of folded up. I'll have to water it soon. But I have a theory that this guy definitely has some Neo-Mexicana in there as well. I got this off a pure agave Kowesii plant, like as a little pup, but it was next to quite a few Neo-Mexicanas as well, so I think that it could definitely be a hybrid. But very beautiful. I've had it for a few years, doing fantastic. And then right over here, we have another Santolina Cameocyparis that just got done blooming. Very beautiful. Got another Angelita daisy that's not blooming yet. It's a new transplant. And of course, I got my beautiful new Yucca rostrata on this nice mound. Doing really good. Took the transplant beautifully, even in this very hot weather. But I have some new succulents underneath it that I want to show you. So this one right here is a very interesting one. So this is a type of euphorbia, believe it or not. This is a succulent variety of euphorbia, unlike those more like leafy varieties I was showing you before. This is Euphorbia clavarioides, variety truncata, It is native to Lesotho, South Africa, and it is the only succulent euphorbia that is actually cold tolerant that I know of. And it is basically evolved to mimic a cactus perfectly, even though cactus are only native to the Americas. I am just pretty obsessed with this little guy, and I cannot wait to see it grow up. It grows into gorgeous large colonies that kind of remind me of like a Cynoserius or something, but really unique, and it just shows you the diversity of the euphorbia genus. And then right over on this side we have another South African succulent, a new one. This is called Ruchia. This one is Ruchia indorata. It's native to Lesotho, of course, Lesotho, South Africa. It's where all of my high elevation evergreen succulents come from. And just really, really beautiful. You can kind of see the patterning on those leaves. And it grows up to be kind of like a Senecio look-alike, kind of. It's like a mini version of it with bright pink flowers. Super beautiful. I have another one I will show you here in a second, another species. Apologize about that, guys. My phone overheated again. But we just moved on here to this gorgeous Utah native plant. This is Xeriscape ambigua, or the desert globe mallow. This literally grows 15 minutes away from my house. I can find it on the mesas and like in the arroyos and stuff, just growing on the side, sucking up the water. But gorgeous, and this is a broadleaf evergreen as well, believe it or not. These tall flower stalks will die off, but these basal leaves here at the ground will stay completely evergreen. Gorgeous. It's related to a butylon and all those other things in like the mallow family. And as you can see, it is just a pollinator bonanza. All of the pollinators just go insane for this plant here. See this little butterfly drinking away. As the hummingbird comes and says hello. But just crazy the amount of insect activity I get on this plant here. This plant was started as literally a 5-inch seedling at the beginning of this year. This summer. So in 3 months, it went from 5 inches to this giant monstrosity. Pretty incredible. I mean, that's what you get for a planting a native plant. They really, really love it here, obviously. And then, being completely covered by this desert globe mallow, we have another Utah native here. Let's push this back. This is Nolina microcarpa. This is related to that Bocarnia or ponytail palm I showed you in that planter box. Believe it or not, the ponytail palm used to be in the Nolina family. It used to be called Nolina. So very, very gorgeous species. They can get a pretty large trunk in some locations. It just depends on where they are and what kind of soil they're growing in. But I've seen some that literally look almost identical to small ponytail palms. Without like the bare trunk. They have more of a skirt, but really gorgeous. And they have those really characteristic curly cues on the end of each leaf, which is you'll see these all over the desert Southwest. Very, very common in landscapes and stuff. But yeah, Utah native. And we'll move right over here to probably my most prized plant in the whole entire garden. I have quite a few, but this is definitely number one, to me at least. This is a Quercus hypoleucoides, or the silver-leafed oak. This is an evergreen live oak that is native to about 7,000 to 13,000 feet up in Arizona. Southeastern Arizona and southwestern New Mexico, and then it ranges down into Mexico. And this, my friends, is a perfect olive mimic for zone 7. It's almost identical to an olive as it matures. Has the white undersides and kind of that silvery bluish top. And I've been searching for this species for over 5 years now. I almost gave up, I just couldn't find it. And I finally got it this year, and I'm just so happy about it. Very cold hardy, I think I mentioned that already. But just a really nice addition to the garden, and it should produce a lot of shade for this little area here. Then we'll move right over here. This is a very common Utah plant. This is a Euphorbia martinii, ascot rainbow. You can see why it's a common plant. It is so beautiful, extremely heat tolerant, and extremely drought tolerant, and it looks good year round, especially in the winter time. It looks fantastic. Now you'll see these at basically like every house around here. They're just very common. And then right over here, you have something I haven't planted quite yet. I'm probably gonna be getting in the ground actually today, right after this video. This is a new one. This is the spineless giant claret cup. So it's a kind of sorry guys, it is so hot right now. I'm like just talking gibberish. But it's a spineless version of a Echinocerius triglochidiotis. Sorry. And this one is actually native to Utah as well. Especially the spineless variety. I think this only grows in Utah. But it is the giant form, which I believe is found in San Juan County in southern Utah. And it gets about 12 inches tall, and it is completely spineless, and it looks so tropical. It almost looks like a succulent euphorbia. But I'm super excited about this guy. I'm gonna be planting it on this mound here with this next plant I'm gonna be showing you. And this is again, sorry, you probably can guess what happened, but I'll just get right back to what I was saying. So I'm sure many of you guys know this guy. This is Yucca aloifolia. It is one of the only yuccas native to the southeastern United States, therefore more moist environments. But it can definitely take very dry southwestern environments as well, of course. But very unique species of yucca. It looks very similar to like a Dracaena or cordyline as it matures. Has very tall, skinny trunks with very spiky leaves. It's just so gorgeous. Looks one of the most tropical looking yuccas in my opinion. I actually have a video on this guy in the wild in southern Texas. On the Bolivar Peninsula, if you want to check that out. It was probably last year, I believe. But very gorgeous species. And right behind that, we have a very beautiful native Southwestern Salvia. This is Salvia microphylla, also known as hot lip salvia. And what I love about this guy, you can see those trumpet-shaped flowers come out pure white and change to red almost like instantly. It's really interesting to see. And the hummingbirds are obsessed with this plant. This is their favorite plant in the whole entire garden. There's regularly multiple species on here, just feeding all day long. And then right in front of that, we have that very large mature rosemary I was talking about. This guy's been here for about 5 years now. This is as big as they get. This variety is very common here in Utah. This is called ARP rosemary. It's a little bit less hardy than that Madeline Hills rosemary, but it's still pretty hardy. And it just does fantastic here in Utah. But as I was saying, very common in Utah. Sorry, I just got like swarmed by a wasp. But yeah, very beautiful, and this is my favorite smelling rosemary out of any one that I've ever smelled. It's just so good. It smells like, it's like lemony and just so nice. But we'll move over here. We have some high elevation forms of Cotyledon orbiculata. And of course, they are from Lesotho, South Africa. Now, cotyledons are almost exclusively a zone 9 plant, not even zone 8, zone 9. And this is like the only variety that is for some reason just extremely hardy. And remember, they have these red edges. That's very important. That is what all of the cold hardy ones have, but that doesn't mean they're going to be cold hardy, but that is what all the cold hardy ones at least have. I will show you some much more mature specimens here in a second, some bigger ones. But then right behind that, we have a dwarf hesperaloe, or a brake lights hesperaloe. And right over here in this little pot, we have a California coffee berry. This is a Frangula californica, and I don't know what to do with it. This is native to a lot of the Southwest, including, I believe, Utah as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's native to Washington County. Broadleaf evergreen. It's really tasty berries that taste like coffee, apparently. Just really gorgeous. Right over here, this is another Euphorbia caraceus wolfenii. Doing fantastic. And then we'll move over here. This is my Dacylerion wheeleri. Guys, I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous. I hope this video isn't terrible because my phone just keeps overheating. But obviously I can't film it at night because I want you to see the plants in their full beauty. But this is just what happens when you live in the Southwest. It's can't get around it. So I will start back here with this beautiful Dacylerion wheeleri, which I've had for about 4 years now. And it has done so good until last winter when it got down to 7 degrees Fahrenheit. I definitely struggled. Of course it didn't die, but you can see it is almost completely grown out of all the damage that it had, and it's doing fantastic. Doing so good. I've been seeing these Dacylerions a lot more commonly around northern Utah. It's making me so happy. But okay, and then right next to that, this another beautiful Salvia microphylla. What is really awesome, well, at least I think this is really cool, a bunch of these plants in this garden actually grow together in the wild. So this Dacylerion, Salvia microphylla, this other plant I'm going to be showing you, this is one of my most prized plants. This is the Arizona rosewood, and this Quercus hyperleucoides all grow together in the same habitat. So this is kind of like my Arizona Sky Islands garden right here. Really cool in my opinion. As well as that desert globe mallow that grows with them as well. But let's move over here and show you this Vacolinia californica even better. So like I said, this is one of my absolute most prized plants in the whole entire garden. I've been searching for this one for about 4 years. Finally found it, and as you can see, it is almost a perfect oleander substitute for dried zone 7 gardens. I'm sorry guys on the East Coast, this will not survive whatsoever. This needs to have a dry, relatively mild climate, but very dry. I was actually so pleased to find this guy here in Utah. Didn't have to travel out of the state, found it right here. And there's a bunch of them planted at Red Butte Gardens in Salt Lake City as well. But such a beautiful plant. I'm obsessed with it, and I cannot wait for it to get giant. This guy can get about 20 feet tall. So excited about that. And then we will move on to my absolute favorite part of the garden over here. This is the part that I've worked on the absolute most and the longest. And basically every flowering perennial you see in this garden is a Utah native, besides just the lavender over here. But let's start right here with this Penstemon pinifolius, which is just starting to go into bloom here. This is a native evergreen, broadleaf evergreen. It's native to southern Utah. So beautiful, and the hummingbirds of course love these guys as well. And then right behind that, this is a hebe. So this is called a Western Hills hebe. I'm not sure what species or in its makeup or what its parentage is, but very, very beautiful and extremely fast growing. Like, it's grown so much, it's insane. There's a little hummingbird. And then right over here in front, this is the giant Hesperalo, or Hesperalo fonifera. This is in the same family as those red yuccas, the Hesperalo parvifloras, the first plants I showed you in the video with the red flowers. But these guys can get up to 6 to 7 feet tall, and their flower stalk can reach 10 to 12 feet tall. And they're just very, very gorgeous and very common in southern Utah. Those are also planted, there's a lot of them at Red Butte Gardens. And then right over here, this is the only flowering thing that isn't native to Utah. This is a Avaline forte lavender. This is kind of like a dwarf lavender that grows low to the ground. It smells really, really nice. It's a type of Spanish lavender. And right behind that, we have another Utah native. This is another penstemon. This is Penstemon etonii, or the firecracker penstemon. There's another broadleaf evergreen that grows about 15 minutes away from my house. You can find it up on the hills and stuff, growing with that desert globe mallow. So beautiful. It should be flowering next summer. Obviously it's not super beautiful right now, but next summer it should create some flowers. And right up here in front, we have a wonderful Utah native broadleaf evergreen. This is the turpentine bush, or Ericomeria laricifolia. So beautiful, and this grows all over southern Utah, not just Washington County. You'll find it in other places. And it smells very, very interesting. It smells like turpentine, if you know what that smells like. And it grows into a really nice sized shrub, about 4 feet tall and wide. And the foliage kind of looks like rosemary in the wintertime. So beautiful. And then right next to that, we have my very, very iron chlorotic Eucalyptus passiflora diffusivilli. The soils here in Utah are extremely dry, sandy, and alkaline. The last part is the most important part, because not many plants do well in alkaline soils unless they're native to them. You can see this species of eucalyptus happens to be one that suffers. So I just started dosing it with iron, and I really hope that helps. This is kind of concerning. It's definitely not dead. The leaves are very, very pliable still. You can still see some blue-green leaves, and it's still actively growing, but kind of concerning. But right over here, we have giant locust just jumped out. We have Echinocerius rigidissimus, or the Arizona rainbow hedgehog cactus. So beautiful. All that white or light colored growth up on top is all new growth within the past 2 months. So it is growing like wildfire. It's crazy. Right behind those guys, we have another Utah native. This is the Blackfoot daisy, or Melopodium leucanthum. This is another broadleaf evergreen, and just so gorgeous. And right behind that, kind of hiding away, we have that more mature Cotyledon orbiculata that I was talking about. That's a pretty good size, but not even close to as big as they get. But super beautiful and super healthy. Great. It's already putting off some offshoots at the bottom. These guys get nice sized trunks. They're very beautiful succulents. They're really cool. And then we'll go right over here to probably my favorite flowering thing in the whole entire garden. And I've had many people ask about this and wonder what it is in my videos. This is another Utah native. This is the desert marigold, and this is one of the most common flowers you'll see in gardens here in Utah. They're very common, and just so beautiful. I don't believe these guys are evergreen, but as you can see, the flowers in spring, summer, and fall absolutely make up for it. And it is just so beautiful, and another one that the pollinators are just consistently pollinating all day. Grows all over Utah as well. Right behind that, we have another Utah native. One of my favorite native Utah plants. This is agave utahensis. So beautiful. This is agave utahensis spina, which there's two subspecies that you'll find here in Utah. One is spina, and the other is subspecies utahensis, which looks more like a, I don't know, like a big, like a large aloe or something. It gets a lot larger than this spina, but this one has the very long spines on each leaf, and is just so beautiful. And it gets that typical 20-foot flower stalk like all agaves. Right behind that, guys, is my second most prized plant in the whole entire garden, after that Quercus hypoleucoides. That is Trichocereus terscheckii, or the Argentine saguaro. It is literally a perfect mimic of the North American saguaro, native to Arizona, one state below me. Grows to the same size, basically about 20 feet tall, something like that. Produces many arms, and is hardy down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit, guys, in dry climates. There's a guy in Moab, Utah, about an hour and a half away from me, that has about a 13 to 14 foot specimen that he's had for many years, and it has like 5 arms now, and it blooms every year, and he does not protect it whatsoever. I got this from Jan Emming, who owns a Destination Forever ranch in Yucca, Arizona. Really cool guy, and definitely one of my inspirations for sure. It was really cool to talk to him and get this specimen, so it's doubly important to me. And then right over here we have Salvia gregii, which is another Southwestern native salvia that the hummingbirds just go insane for. Now there is a very large crab spider who lives in this salvia that I literally, right in front of my eyes, watched catch one of those California carpenter bees that I made a video on. It was really awesome and really sad at the same time, because the other carpenter bee was basically just searching for its partner for multiple days because they mate for life, and it was very sad, I'm not gonna lie, but it was pretty cool to see that predation. And right behind that we have my first Yucca rostrata I ever got, and as you can see, it is doing fantastic, doing so good. It is like almost doubled in size this summer and just filled in so much. It's ready to start, almost ready to start, trimming the bottom into a trunk. And right over here, we have, this is my agave ovatifolia, frosty blue. This guy is also put up. Ooh, sorry guys. Of course, you know what happened again. It is at least 115 in this side garden here. It is so hot right now. It's south facing, and it has this stucco and this pea gravel. It is just unbelievably hot right now. So I'm gonna try to kind of hurry this up because it's getting a little bit dangerous. But let's go. Well, I guess right here we have the Angelita daisy. I already showed you this before. It was the ones that weren't in flower yet, near that Yucca rostrata on the mound. This is a Utah native broadleaf evergreen, or at least evergreen perennial. And right behind that, we have two very interesting ones. This is Aloe aristata, the only aloe that I know of that will survive in zone 7. All other aloes are zone 8B and up. But this guy is from Lesotho, of course, so it's very, very cold tolerant. And I know a guy in Salt Lake City who's been growing this for 15 years, and they grow into very large colonies. They grow a lot bigger than this. These are just small ones. But so awesome. Right up here in front, we have easily my most, I guess my favorite prickly pear on earth. This is Opuntia Santa Rita, doing fantastic, doing so good. These are very beautiful prickly pears. They're the ones the classic like purple prickly pears you see in southern Utah and Arizona and New Mexico. And the new growth comes out just dark purple, and they stay purple even when they're to like this full size here. So like the whole pad will be purple contrasted with this blue green, and it is just so beautiful. Love it. And right behind that, we have my Rhopidophyllum hystrix. I got 2 of them here. I don't think I mentioned the other one. It's just right over here, my needle palms. Those have been here for 2 years now. Doing fantastic. Survived that crazy winter last year. Well, at least that one did. This one, I forgot, this one actually was planted this year, this summer. But they're one of the only plants in my whole entire garden that are actually on irrigation. All the other ones are extremely drought tolerant, but just doing great here, growing away in 110 plus. And then we got my, this is another Hesperaloe parviflora. This one started blooming very early, so it's almost all spent. But this is an unnamed variety that once it first comes out, it is the most brilliant red I've ever seen. So I call it Utah Rojo. And you can see it's starting to form lots of seed here already in August. So I'll definitely be collecting that. I have like 10 bags full of Hesperaloe seeds. They're so common around here. Got another Angelita daisy. And then we have one of my other most exciting experiments or plants in the garden. This is the Ocotillo, or Fouquiera splendens. This is native to the Sonoran Chihuahuan deserts. And it's just so beautiful. It is a Southwestern icon, almost as popular as the saguaro or Joshua tree. And you can see this guy got done flowering for the first time ever. And the hummingbirds just went insane. They just went psycho for this plant. They loved it. So that guy in Moab, about an hour and a half away from here, is growing many of these without any protection whatsoever, and they're doing great. They've been there many years. There's actually a guy in my city who's growing this out in the middle of his lawn, not even near a wall, and it's survived like 5 years. So I'm not concerned about this at all. It should do perfectly fine here. And I'm just so excited about it. So beautiful. I can't wait for it to leaf out. Obviously, they're not this bare, spiky plant all year. They're actually like the opposite of normal plants. So in the summertime, they're kind of mostly leafless. And then in the winter and fall and stuff, they'll be covered in these little green leaves. And then the last plant in this this Mediterranean garden tour is going to be this little guy back here. And this is my Woodlander's Hardy Red Bottle Brush, or Callistemon. This is the only bottle brush besides Wetlands Challenge Mutant that will survive in Zone 7. Every other bottle brush is going to be a Zone 8 or 9 plant. This one has like the typical, gorgeous red bottle brush flowers. Of course, native to Australia, like all bottle brush. And I'm just so excited about this guy. It was kind of hard to find, but I did find it here in Utah, actually. I got it in Salt Lake City. It was at a nursery there. I was pretty surprised to see it, but very happy to see it. And it has put on at least a foot of growth on each branch. And it is, I haven't seen it wilt once in this heat. It is taking it like a champ. Like, I can't believe it. It's almost unbelievable how good it's doing. But there we go, guys. That was the whole entire tour there. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I absolutely appreciate you guys watching. and enduring with me on this hot southwestern summer day. But have a good day, guys.